Hi, friends. It's Mondays with Michael again. Today is Monday, July 20th, and I am Michael Dzik, the director of the Jewish Federation. Hope everybody had a wonderful weekend and a good start to your week. Lots of things happening at the Federation. First thing I want to mention is I had a few people after last week's recording got back to me and recognized the Prince of Kosher Gospel gentleman that I was talking about. And you're correct, it is Joshua Nelson, who is an amazing, amazing singer. And he's going to be performing for us live, virtually, on August the 30th, Sunday, August 30th at 7 o'clock. Invitations will be coming out soon, but please go ahead and save the date. It should be a very, very fun evening. Lots of singing, and really thank Fernshire and Rob Lowe, our two campaign co-chairs, for helping put that together. So we're in the final stages now, and like I said, invitations will be out soon. Other things, we lost Representative John Lewis, just a civil rights icon, really, over the weekend. I've learned a lot about his life, of things that I didn't know. I knew how much he had done. I knew how instrumental he has been and had been, really all the way up until his passing, but really led an incredible life. And as we talk about social justice and equal rights for all peoples, especially after the George Floyd event in Minnesota a couple months ago, it's even more pressing now that we as a Jewish community stand up for our Black brothers and sisters, our African American brothers and sisters, and really anybody who's been discriminated against. There were some troubling things that were in the news last week in regards to some anti-Semitic statements that were made from some in the African American community nationally, and as well as actually here locally in Chattanooga as well, that were anti-Semitic. And you cannot fight you cannot fight hate of any kind. You can't fight racism by creating more types of hate. So you don't fight racism by creating anti-Semitism, because we really need to be working on these things together. And historically, the Jewish community and the African American community, especially during the 60s, were arm in arm working together for equal rights for all peoples. And a lot of the anti-Semitism that's been coming out lately has been the same stereotypes of the Jews on the banks and the media sources, and it really is a shame. Here locally, I've been working with Rabbi Lewis a great deal, as well as Austin Center, who's the chair of our CRC committee, on some statements that were made by one of the local activists here in Chattanooga that were quite disturbing. Again, anti-Israel for sure, anti-Semitic as well. And we're doing some behind-the-scenes work to hopefully educate this person and get them to have a better understanding of history that they obviously do not understand, number one, as well as that these anti-Semitic tropes and comments are not benefiting their movement, as well as the betterment of human society. So we're definitely working on those types of things. Also, we heard, this weekend that the progressive candidate up in New York, I think just north of the city, won the election against Eliot Engel, so he ousted a longtime Democrat, powerful Democrat, and it made me think, not specifically about that case or that specific race, but actually about the progressive movement on the very left side of the political spectrum. It comes with some challenges. It's something that I'm grappling with. Many of the younger generation, younger people, 20s and 30s, and younger even, are very supportive of the progressive movement, and people like Bernie Sanders, who, although is Jewish, I find him to also be somewhat anti-Israel for sure. And we need to have these conversations and have a better understanding. Again, I'm not a one-issue person, but I am very concerned about Israel and its future, and that the United States supports Israel unconditionally. And I think some of the progressive folks that are out there, we've all heard of AOC and Tlaib and people like that, who are definitely pro-BDS and anti-Israel. It's disturbing as that movement potentially grows. We have to do a better job of educating them, letting them know the importance of Israel, the democracy of Israel, and that it's living in such a not so friendly neighborhood, but also just that it has the right to exist. Simply put, we can all sit here and say the good things and the bad things and criticize Israel about things we like or don't like, but I think the majority of the Jewish community has a love and a connection with Israel, and we need to make sure that that continues here in our country, and we need to educate individuals, activists, leaders, and elected officials, no matter what party they come from. So lots on my mind, as you can tell, and would love to continue the dialogue with you over the phone or through email. So give me a call. I would love to talk about these issues, hear your points, and hear your opinions, and wish everybody a wonderful, wonderful week. Next week, by the way, but not least, I have to tell you, I'll be on vacation. So no Mondays with Michael unless I wake up early one morning and decide to give you a quick recording from wherever I might be. So anyway, have a great week, everybody, and look forward to seeing you soon.